Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. What am I gonna do today? Well, this is my project. I've got a ceiling fan I need to install, and I'm gonna be installing it in this bedroom. Okay, 10-foot ceilings, and I'm gonna do this a different way than I've ever done it before. And you might want to watch this video series to find out how I'm going to do it. There's no switch for power. That switch is for the lights. There's no switch there. I'm on the ground floor. There's another floor above here, so there's hardly any attic space above here. I don't want to patch walls. I don't want to patch a ceiling. I don't want to cut stuff out to run wire up from here. So I'm going to show you and explain to you a different way to do it, and I'm pretty sure it's going to work. So if that's what you want to watch, stick around. Are you scratching your head yet, figuring out how I'm going to do this without patching the ceiling or doing anything, because I can't get up into the attic and I'm not going to come down here? Well, kaboom. Now I'm going to use one of these boxes. This is called a cut-in box. This just happens to be a deep one in case I run into a lot of wires, or the regular small utility cut-in box. Okay, and I'm going to use this. This is just a little pancake box, and I'm going to install that. Now this house is about 24 years old, and I've got a set of plans, and I've been up in the bathroom area downstairs before, up above the ceiling, and there's floor joists between the first and second floor, really tall floor joists, because this area here downstairs, look how wide open this room is. Okay, they had to span something far all the way across, because the main room is above here, okay, where the kitchen is and everything else, and the living room, the family room, and dining room, and some other bedrooms, bathrooms. And so they had to have long ceiling joists here, and they build those with 2x4s at the bottom, 2x4s at the top, and they're about 2 feet tall, and they're metal diagonal braces, some going up and then going up like this, and then coming down and making squares and stuff. And I don't think I want to climb up there. Now there is a crawl hole. I've never been up there, and they've got it sealed. Whoever installed this, they sealed it, they painted it, they caulked it around there. But if I have to, worst case scenario, if I have to get up there, I get up from there, and then from there I'm gonna have to crawl all the way down here and try to fish myself through these floor joists that happen to be about 2 feet tall. And there's insulation up there too. I'm sure there's insulation up there. Okay, I really don't want to have to do all that, and I really don't want to have to cut drywall out, because if I have to cut drywall out and start patching, this has spray texture knockdown on it, and I don't want to have to patch anything. In the old days, what I'd have to do is take this light switch out and then put a cut-in 2-gang box in here, and then I've got my power there, and then I fish a wire from there up above. And because if I didn't have access to here, I'd have to cut a hole on the top portion of the wall, another hole right here, be able to fish the wire over here depending how the floor joists are and all that kind of stuff. Then I'd have to patch all that, run the wire, patch all that, install a 2-gang box, put another light switch there for power for the ceiling fan and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, hey, wait a minute, I don't think I have to do that. And here's what I'm going to do. Okay, I've got my cut-in box here. I've got these cut-in junction boxes. Now see, you see here, I need to get power. I need to find out how to get power up to the ceiling fan. Nowadays, most ceiling fans come with a remote control. See, fan control remote. This is a handheld remote. Okay, most ceiling fans, you go to the store, try to get one with the handheld remote, because then, can you see, you only need power up here. If you had an old ceiling fan location and you had it here, of course you need to have the power there. Of course you need to have another light switch for the light kit up here. You don't have to do any of that nowadays. All you have to do is have continuous power up here. Because if I had a switch here, if I put a switch in here, I would have that switch turned on the entire time so that I could use my handheld remote control. Okay? To use that, I would never turn that light switch off. If I turn that power switch off for the ceiling fan, then the handheld remote won't work. Does that make sense? So far, so good? Okay, so I don't care. I don't have to do anything here as long as I can get up there and get power. Where do you suppose I'm going to get power? You figured it out yet? Look at this. There's a hardwired smoke alarm right here. Every single room has a smoke alarm. Look, you go into this bedroom here, there's a hardwired smoke alarm up there. Well, you can hardly see it. Light's not very good in here. There's a hardwired smoke detector here. If you have hardwired smoke detectors, if this was a battery operated smoke detector, I wouldn't be able to do it. But because it's a hardwired smoke detector, I can fish a wire from there over to the ceiling fan location, can I? And chances are that box up there is a rectangular box, just like your light switches, just like your electrical outlet boxes. So I'm gonna have to turn the power off, take that out, fish a wire from there over to here. That's what my little pancake box is for. Okay, I've got a full set of plans for this house. Even if I didn't, I could get up there with a stud finder. I don't think I'm going to need my stud finder, but if I do, I've got one out in the garage. But the floor joists are 2 foot on center probably. I'm going to have to find out where these joists are. I'm not sure if they're going this direction or if they're going this direction. Okay, I'll have to determine that. And then once I find it, and the bottom edge is a flat 2x4, then I'm going to take this. Let's just imagine this box being a flat 2x4. Okay, I'm going to take my box and I'm going to find the edge of this 2x4 from here over, or from here over, depending which way the floor joists, ceiling joists are going up there. Okay. Then I'm going to poke around, and I've got to I've got 3 knockouts, so I'm going to use one of these. So from here over, I've got to have that sticking over so that I can fish a wire up through there, and then the rest of the box will be bolted right up to the ceiling joist, the floor joist, whatever you want to call it. I just need to have enough room to fish a wire into this box. And I only need a little bit of room on the outside edge of the 2x4. The outside edge of the 2x4. If that was just a floor joist, 1.5 inch wide floor joist, I could still do it. Okay, but because it's a flat 2x4, it works the same way. I find out where that is so that I've got enough room for that. Okay, then I bolt that up there. But before I bolt it up there, I've got a hole up there, right? For where this is. For where my hole is. And I'll show you all that. Okay, so and then, okay, I cut that out. Then I mark the box, the cut-in box, for the rest of where the floor joist, the ceiling joist is. I cut the drywall out there. This sinks into the drywall flush. So when you look at it, it's going to be flush right up to the ceiling, okay? Then where the hole is, next to the 2x4, I'm going to fish a wire. And so I'm going to probably have the ceiling fan probably located somewhere above the edge of the bed or somewhere close to here. It doesn't have to be in the middle of the bed or anything. It just has to be about the middle edge of the front edge of the bed. It can be off a little bit over this way. It can be off centered from the bed. It doesn't have to be exactly in the center of the bed.